Hello, Cancer. Thank you so much for joining us today for your weekly reading for June 14th to the 20th. We're going to be pulling a lot of cards for you here, but if you have not subscribed, please subscribe because it really helps us out. Also, like this video if it resonates with you, and feel free to comment down below too. So Cancer, here we have your recent past, so where you've been heading from. Here we have where you're kind of walking down right now, so kind of like your present pathway. Here we have any problems that you're going to be facing, any solutions, any guidance that you need, and then finally an outcome. We're going to draw one card here for your general energy as well, Cancer. So Cancer, your Gemini. So Cancer, your general energy for this week is to look at the bigger picture with the full moon in Sagittarius, which is perfect because we just experienced the full moon in Sagittarius. We're in that energy right now. This period that we're in right now is all about casting things off. We're quickly rushing towards the new moon. So if you haven't taken the time to really tap into like that full moon in Sagittarius energy, that revolutionary energy where you can really cast things off a little bit more easily right now, Cancer, I'd really take the time to do so like immediately, like right now, because I think the time is almost up. In your recent past, we have the Devil card here. So maybe you feel like a little tied down to something. And with your current energy, though, that we have like the Ten of Cups here. So this is, a little bit of like a stark contrast here, but it's pretty positive to see at least. I can kind of see you. Normally, the Devil card would be about some kind of like vice that you have, or like some kind of like addiction, some kind of problem, or just like it doesn't have to be with like a substance or something. It can just be about you like choosing to stay stuck in a bad situation, you know? We have the two rabbits here. They're kind of chained up, but they can always choose to take off these chains and to like move away from this situation. And I can kind of see that you have. I think maybe you have looked at the bigger picture. Maybe you have tapped into this Sagittarius and full moon energy. Maybe you really have thrown these vices off, or like thrown like these negative people off. And because of that, you're kind of rendering this, you're walking down this pathway towards the Ten of Cups right now, which is all about just emotional overabundance, happiness, and then also just having like a strong, tight-knit family. So this is very positive to see. As any problems that you're facing, we have the Seven of Cups here, and this is pretty interesting. This came up as a problem card for one of the other readings. I think this came up for the problem that Aries was experiencing. So if you have like an Aries like moon or like rising, I'd definitely check out that reading as well, because that came up as a problem that Aries was facing in the same exact area. So I can kind of see you as like, I think like all your readings, Cancer, have been all about you working towards these big projects, these big goals, these big ambitions. And maybe you can feel like a little bit just daunted by like all these things that are being thrown at you right now. We have with the Seven of Cups is all about all these opportunities. You're surrounded by all these opportunities, all these different outcomes, and it can just feel like daunting. You just don't know like what to choose. You don't know which pathway to head down, because you know like once you invest into like one of these cups, one of these pathways, it's going to be hard to go back. You can never really go back, right? That's like the thing. People expect like, oh, you can like walk out of like this situation. Maybe you like leave a job, for instance, and then you think about like maybe like returning back to that job, but things are never going to be the same as they were before. Even if things were perfect at that job that you left, you could end up going back and it's just not going to be the same work environment, same kind of relationships. So, and for instance too, if like you end up breaking up with somebody, Cancer, and then you get back with that individual, it's just never going to be the same. So the Seven of Cups is all about, look, you need to choose a pathway and like walk down it, but don't ruminate too much on like what could have been, or don't like think that you can just like, okay, I can choose one of these 7 doors here, one of these 7 cups, but at any moment I can just like step back and then like close the door and I'll have all these opportunities that I had before. You won't. Because you choose to walk down one pathway, you're going to end up being in a situation where if you come back to that room where you have the 7 doors, maybe there'll be like 8 doors, maybe there'll be 9 doors, maybe there'll just be 1 door, maybe you'll close off a lot of opportunities. So don't expect that you can ever get back to the same situation, Cancer. Here with a solution, we have the Ten of Wands. So this is actually pretty positive to see. Even though this rabbit here is very overburdened, they're carrying too many things right now. You're feeling incredibly overburdened. Maybe you just have, because you're rendering so many things into your life right now, you're rendering so many opportunities. It can feel as though you've just built up just too much anxieties. There's too many fears of maybe like a little bit of like failure here, of like walking down the wrong pathway. But actually, the Ten of Wands, and I said this in another reading because this also came up for another reading. The Ten of Wands, I think it came up in the Sagittarius reading. So if you have Sagittarius, maybe go check that reading out too. The Ten of Wands here is pretty positive. It's all about coming to an end of a cycle. So even though you're holding on to like all these issues that you have right now, you're going to be in a situation right now where you can kind of like drop a lot of those anxieties. And that could be related to this, looking at the bigger picture kind of energy here. It's like your general energy. It's going to be like, look, just look at the general picture, because maybe Cancer, you have all these opportunities right now. You have all these doors you can head down. And because of that, you have like a vague idea of what's behind all those doors. So because of that, you've gotten together weapons that can help you handle all the battles behind all those doors. But now you're in a situation where now you need to choose like one or two of those doors to open up for yourself. But because you've prepared so much for all these outcomes, all these opportunities, you're carrying like way too many weapons right now. You have like too many weapons for like a battle where you just need one weapon. So this is telling you, look at the bigger picture. You don't need all these weapons. You don't need all these things, because you're not going to end up fighting all those battles. You're going to end up fighting like one or two battles. So hold on to the things that you need right now, Cancer, and just let the other things go. Look at the bigger picture. Here is the guidance that you need. We have the Seven of Pentacles. This card keeps on coming up for you and for like a lot of other readings too. The Seven of Pentacles is all about having a garden of abundance. It's all about rendering things into your life right now. So I can kind of see that there are people very close to you. This could be related to the Ten of Cups here. It could just be like your family right now. I think that your family is helping you out though. Even though things are like a little bit difficult for you here because you have so many opportunities, you just don't know where to go. I think that you have a lot of stability here at least, and like it could just be like your family life. It could also be like your friends or just like people that you're working with too. Those individuals in your life right now, they're helping you tend to like a field. They're helping you tend to your garden right now, where you're growing, not just opportunities because you have enough of those, but they're helping you grow just this abundance in your life in order to like maintain like a lot of stability. So this is pretty positive to see, because these two cards are definitely relating to each other right now. That's the vibe that I'm getting. And here is your outcome. We have the Page of Cups. So this could just be about a recognition that you're never, Cancer, you have too many tools for the one fight that you're going to be facing, or for like the couple fights that you're going to be facing. And this is telling you with the Page of Cups, like, even though like you kind of have like a vague idea of what's behind the door that you want to walk down, you don't fully understand. And that's what the Page of Cups is kind of reminding you, is that Cancer, you can never be fully prepared. So you're being like overly prepared right now in a situation where you really don't know what the outcome is going to be. So just take a couple of tools with you, learn to like cast a couple things off, and take a look at the bigger picture, Cancer. That's definitely what this reading is saying, obviously, with like the energy here. So Cancer is a pretty positive reading. It's just learning to let go a little bit, Cancer. So thank you so much for joining us. If this resonated with you, please check out your sun, moon, and rising. Also, if you have those signs that I mentioned earlier that relate to those other cards that we pulled, also go ahead and check out those readings too. Thank you so much for joining us, and please come back next week.